It is time for lesson 74. There is no will but God's. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought toward which all our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is His. That's not like it's His, like I have your will, but they're one and the same. So if God's will is your will, we are extensions of God. We are of God. We are of light. God is light. So our will is the same. Our desire is the same. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is His. The belief that conflict is possible has gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but His. There is great peace in today's idea, and the exercises for today are directed towards finding it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination to understand what they mean, and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts, such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for His Son. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. If there is one conflict area that seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Identify the particular person or persons and the situation or situations involved and tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with Him. My conflicts about blank cannot be real. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. You are entitled to peace. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness, rather than feeling a drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, you will recognize that you have reached it. If you feel yourself slipping off into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. Do this as often as necessary. There is definite gain in refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. So, withdrawal, when you're meditating, if you're not feeling the peace and you're starting to get tired and you're falling asleep, then you know that you are in withdrawal. So in order to find the joy of peace and the peace of joy, you have to keep your mind active, and by thinking about the thoughts that this course lays out, there's no will but God's, and I am at peace, and all of these things. When you are truly at peace, like it talks about here, this deep sense of joy and increased alertness, when I feel completely at peace, my body feels a tingling sensation. I feel a euphoria. I feel thoughts coming to my mind, or I just feel completely just like expanding. I feel like my energy is just reaching the farthest points of the universe, going on forever. So if you're not feeling that yet, that's okay. And this is what's great about the course, is it says if you're not feeling it, okay, try again, and then try again, and then try again. It's never punishment. It's never like, well, you didn't feel it, well, you must be doing something wrong. No, it's all about, okay, let that experience go. We'll try it again fresh. Let's try it again. Okay. In the shorter periods, which should be undertaken at regular and predetermined intervals, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two every half an hour with eyes closed, if possible, would be well spent on this today. I have a note here. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. I haven't read it since I've written it, so we'll see. So when I wanted to pursue acting, but I told myself maybe God wants me to pursue teaching, and I was not happy, it's because I was going against God's will, because His will is the same as mine. He wants me to be happy. So I must follow and honor and be aware of what will make me happy in any situation. If we really follow our happiness, we will be at peace and full of joy. I no longer need to do what my parents or friends or bosses want me to do. I don't need to seek any outside advice. The answers are all within. I am enough. However, often what will make me happy overlaps with what makes another happy. So it is not necessarily in conflict with others. So if we're really following our happiness and honoring ourselves and communicating what we feel is necessary for ourselves in this moment, then we're in a good place. The other day, yesterday actually, my friend and I had made plans to carpool to our improv class, and we were going to get food beforehand together. And as the day approached, we'd planned this a week prior, as the hour approached, instead of expressing how I felt, which was, I'm not really hungry, I don't really want to go get food, but we could still carpool, I simply asked, do you still want to get food? And she said yes, and I said okay. But I did not want to get food anymore. I am on a budget. I wanted to just make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and if she was still happy to carpool, we could carpool. Why did I not communicate this? I don't know. I was in a weird place and I wasn't connected. And so she and I talked about this, and I told her, listen, I know that you would not have been upset with me, but for whatever reason, I didn't communicate this. And she was like, yeah, I totally would not have been upset. It's not a big deal. We could get dinner anytime. It's not a big deal. So it's important to honor what you need in each moment, because if you make a plan and then as that day approaches, it may not be what's best for you anymore. And in fact, if you communicate that to the other person, they may also be struggling because something's going on that's making them feel stressed because of this plan, and they feel like they have to honor it because they've made it, and you're feeling that way, and neither of you really feel like you can commit anymore, but you feel like an asshole for backing out. So I've found that just figuring out what you need, what is best for you, and then communicating that from a place of love and honesty, people are usually completely happy to comply with whatever it is that you need. And oftentimes, it's also exactly what they need too, which is really cool. So, there's no will but God's. What is the will of God? It's for you to be happy. Okay? So have fun figuring out what it is that's going to make you happy in each moment of each day. And at first, it feels a little bit like, now I have to figure it out again. Now I have to figure it out again. And then eventually it gets faster where you're able to check in more easily and get answers more quickly, and it feels less, I don't know, like walking through the beach where you're like, it's hard to walk on sand, right? And then you get on concrete and you can walk faster. It's kind of like how this goes. Okay, anyway, enjoy. I'll see you for lesson 75. All right, take care.